broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Welcome to another episode of AFTERBUZZ TV's recap of BET's The Game, Season 9, Episode, what are we, 5?
Yes.
Episode 5. This is called Dust in the Wind. And you see this gentleman right here, like they used to do Showtime at the Apollo. Right here, this guy, you've seen him.
Kiki Shepard? Yeah.
You've seen him on The Game as Baby Roger, Roger Jr. Give it up for Andra Fuller, y'all. Andre's in the house. And I'm Megan Thomas at Meg Scoop on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And who are you two beautiful people?
Hello, I'm Courtney Tezeno. Keep in touch with me at Teznos on Twitter and Instagram.
And I am Kevin John. You can keep in touch with me on Twitter and Instagram at Hey Kevin John, or on Periscope, which I do not have yet. But when I do have it,
hey, y'all didn't tell people where to keep in touch with me.
No, that's what I'm about to ask. Where can they get you?
I have all of them. I have Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope. It's Mr. Dre Fuller.
Snapchat?
It's Mr. Dre Fuller.
I didn't hear a Tumblr in there.
No Tumblr, no Snapchat.
LinkedIn?
No LinkedIn. No LinkedIn.
You didn't tell me your Tinder.
No Tinder. No public Tinder. I'm just joking. No, none of that.
Yes! We're so glad to have you, by the way.
It's good to be back.
How's it been being on The Game?
It's been cool. It's been super cool. I mean, this is a show that we've all grown up on, and to come in, I feel like in the ninth inning, literally. Figuratively and literally, it's dope. It's dope.
Yeah. I mean, what was that your last day on set like? How was it for you?
Man, it was emotional because I've only done the last 2 seasons. We did season 8 and then we did season 9, and we kind of did everything together. We block shot it, which means we shot it all together. Okay. Over the course of 3 or 4 months. But those guys have been working together for like almost 10 years.
Yeah.
So the last day was highly emotional. I'm not going to out anybody and tell y'all all the men that were crying like babies. But no, rightfully so though. It was touching. Yeah. And then Salim and Mara got up and they did their spills on each one of the actors, and everything from their auditions to how they've evolved as a family, and it was touching.
Now, speaking of auditions, how did you get involved on The Game?
It's crazy, man, because when I was I don't want to date myself, but I was probably in high school, maybe even college. The movie Soul Food came out. So everybody came back like, man, you look like the dude on Soul Food. You know the dude?
You do?
You look like the dude on Soul Food. And they were talking about Michael Beach.
Right, Michael Beach. You did.
Come on.
As soon as you said that, I was like, you do look like
they would, and they would all say, man, you look like the dude on Soul Food. So
I don't see it.
I do. As soon as he said that.
But I see Soul Food in like 10, 20 years. So, but yeah.
Yeah, that's
so, ironically enough, they were looking to cast Michael Beach's son, who is Roger Sr., the owner of the team. They're looking to cast his son. So I went into the audition knowing that I had somewhat of a leg up. But when I walked into the audition, it was a well-known actor who was coming out of the room, and I was going into the room.
By the name of?
I can't. I'm not going to say that.
So messy.
I'm not going to put it out there.
We dish it all here, okay? We keep it real with our fans.
But I'm not going to put it out there. All the named actors that I beat out for this role.
Over it.
Right.
Drop the mic.
So they had this elaborate conversation. She knew his mom, and how's his mom doing? And she had surgery, and she's better. I'm sitting there like, all right, well, I guess he booked his role. And I went in loose, nonchalant, and just, I did my thing.
Now, do you think the fact that you felt that maybe you were the underdog, that took a lot of pressure off of you, and maybe that's what allowed you to succeed in there?
It takes a lot more than that to shake me. when I'm focused and I'm ready, it takes a lot more than just a rapport between a casting director and another actor. That wasn't gonna do it.
Now, is that your sports background with football
Absolutely.
that you're getting it from? Okay,
Absolutely.
I can see that.
Absolutely.
Oh, you played ball for college or high school? Or?
Yeah, I played at Baylor University.
Bears. RG3.
Yeah, so I played my freshman year. I played at Michigan in the big house.
Wow.
So in front of 106,000 people. Yeah. So one known actor is not going to deter
Not
me.
gonna shake you.
Right.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I didn't know. So your football background, do you think that kind of gives you, granted you play the owner of a franchise, do you think that you took some of that, I guess, wisdom or insight from that to help you out with this role?
I wouldn't necessarily say the football background helped in that aspect, but I would say, where I went to school and what I studied. I studied business at Baylor University. Baylor is regarded to many people in the South as like Ivy League South type school.
Cool.
So I definitely could relate from that aspect.
Good deal.
Yeah.
And when you found out about your role as Roger Jr.,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to ignore y'all, but I'm gonna just keep my attention this way.
what is wrong with you?
You know what? I'm gonna take
Baby Roger.
I felt a little appalled by that one.
I know Kevin is handsome. Look at him, he's all
Beautiful.
right.
Not that way. It's beautiful. Don't swing that way. But I'm gonna just. What were we saying, Megan?
I'm talking about all of our fans out there who now see you as Baby Roger. What did you know about your role when you first got it, and has it evolved and changed from what it was when you first found out about it?
Yes, it did evolve and change. The initial breakdowns, it described him as a Harvard-educated, more straight-laced,
Right.
Privileged type. So initially, I was playing it, more, for lack of better wording, more corny. I was playing it more like
corny.
Yeah, I was playing it more corny.
Carlton Banks.
Because it sounded like that's what they wanted. But Kenny Smith was directing us.
Hi, Kenny.
What's
Kenny's
up,
a fan
Kenny?
of the show. Hi,
What up, Kenny? Kenny was directing us, and he was like, he was in so many words, because I was a new kid on the block. So
Right.
in so many words, he was trying to tell me like, he has a little bit more swag, not like swagged out, but he's a little cooler, like relaxed with it a little bit. And it was funny because the first scene that I had with Brandy was when I was walking in Chardonnay's beauty shop. That was our first scene. And we did it a couple times, and like again, in so many words, he was trying to tell me to loosen the character up, and he's like, "You okay? Loosen it up." So we were changing the setup, and the cameras were on me, but we weren't rolling. So he was sitting at the monitor, and I was just chit-chatting with Brandy, and I'm chopping it up, and I'm being me. I'm like relaxing, just being crazy and fun, and he came up to me and said, "That's who I want right there. That's Baby Raj."
right.
You know how you were kind of like just. I was like, "Oh, you want some Andra Fuller in there?" He's like, "Yes, that's what I want." I was like, "Oh, you just said that." He's like, "Well, I didn't know it." So initially, I thought he's more straight laced, and he's Kenny kind of explained it to me. Later on, he said, he's grew up around NFL football players, so he's picked up some of these Malik-isms. Yeah, of course.
So that's funny because I guess playing it straight-laced was what got you the role in the audition. Because obviously you didn't go in there playing it the way I guess he wanted you to play it, correct?
Right. Yeah, I played it straight-laced in the audition, but one of my audition scenes, damn it, I didn't put my foot in my mouth. I'm not going to reveal my love interest, but one of my audition scenes, I was in a scene with her, so I had to play like
Debonair, smooth.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That kind of like you and Megan were just doing over there.
Oh, that wasn't acting, brother. I'm only acting. I'm only acting when I'm getting paid.
Not love connection.
Yeah.
So speaking
As he's dripping his water.
Right. So speaking of love connections, let's talk about your love interest on the
My
show.
cool point's gone.
Word on the street and
Word on the streets, I'm a suspect.
Yes. A couple of promos on BT.com. Looks like you're going to be getting with Chardonnay on the show.
You think so? I think after watching tonight's episode, it's blatantly obvious that Chardonnay's gonna hook up with Blue.
That's exactly.
I don't know. I don't
No?
like that. I don't like that stuff. You're trying to throw us off. I think you're trying
us to think that.
Right. Are you trying to throw us off?
Yes.
I don't know. It might be. No. Let's go ahead and talk about that. So we see that Tasha she's at the funeral. She's giving the eulogy for her father. Pops has died in the last episode. We saw that. It's at Fatty's. Have a funeral at Fatty's. Awesome.
Classy.
Yes, very classy.
That's how he would have wanted it.
Very Tasha-like. And we find out that Malik can't read. He can't read. Aww. But you know what? It's funny because it doesn't surprise me. This actually happens a lot, I think.
I mean,
All the time.
It does. It
All the
does.
time.
But I kind of like the fact that he said, I just got nervous. I wasn't prepared. That could have
That's a
definitely
cover up.
That's
That's a
called an
cover up.
excuse.
could have been
Yeah.
a factor.
That's a cover up. That's a coping
Come on, he's
He's
mechanism.
gonna save all of the statistics out there. Like,
Which is what he
let's
talked
stop.
about. He didn't want to be a stereotype.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Righteous.
cop out. That's a cop out. Like I said, like we mentioned earlier, I played football.
Yeah.
Right.
And I went to school with a lot of these cats who were exceptional athletes and who would start. You know, a couple of my good friends, great athletes, like the best football players on the team.
Right.
And academically, they were just lacking because it started at a young age.
Yeah.
And then, like Malik said, when you're really good in sports, they kind of just
Pass you through.
Yeah,
yeah, I
you need them
know.
on the team.
You know, it's
Brothers
funny.
and friends. So I know all of them.
Exactly. Yeah. No. It's funny because I've interviewed a lot of Division I athletes, and you know, the funny thing is when you're that high caliber an athlete, especially in a Division I football program, you essentially have the schedule of a professional athlete, but yet you're supposed to be a full-time student.
Right.
So I hear that they
Yep.
have people there that write papers for you guys and all this other. You don't have to confirm that. I don't want you to get in trouble.
At other
but-
universities, but at Baylor University,
Good answer.
where academics
get it
come
straight.
first.
Good answer. But Malik, you know, I like that he was very transparent about that. And he was
Yeah.
like, look, you know, it wasn't like he was saying, look, I'm an idiot, but he was just like, because of my lifestyle, because of my athletic gifts, that has been able to get me through. And I haven't really had to crack open a book or learn how to write a
Yeah, that's
paper or
been
an
my
essay. Or,
past.
And that's
you know.
so sad that is the reality of a lot of our athletes, but just happen to be black men. Because that means we have a population of a lot of black men who are doing well, but they cannot read. So they're only doing well up to a point. Because if you can't read your financials, you can't read a contract.
That's
you
That's
can't
what I have an agent
Yeah.
for.
That's the key. It's not just the reading.
Right.
It's the
Understanding
knowledge
it, yeah.
of
That comes with
business,
reading.
the corporation, the financial. You know, the ESPN series broke.
Yeah.
Right,
It
right,
happens
right.
all the time. It's happening right now. It happens every day. It's going to continue to happen because these athletes have been greased through the system.
Which
And
is
do we
funny,
have
yeah.
programs right now that help kids that are dealing with that? Or
Yeah.
if we don't, we need
Yeah,
them.
no. You're actually right. They're actually right. They've been implementing a lot of things, and you know, it's funny you referenced broke Dre because with NFL athletes,
Because I am broke. That's why.
Yeah.
Ironic. Because I'm
Well,
broke.
that's perfect. Megan loves broke men, so it'll work out all the girls.
Hello.
Grilled
Right,
cheese
Kevin.
sandwiches,
we go.
just like they talked about on the episode.
By the way, let me get off subject real quick. I can't tease Megan because, as you guys know, we told you last week, it was my birthday, and Megan brought in a home baked
Yes.
cake.
It was
Home baked cake. This cake was so good. Within 24 hours of her giving it to me, it was devoured. Not
And
just
this
by
was-
me.
that was a big cake.
That was a big
Yeah,
cake.
and it was a big cake.
It was
So you're a
good,
fellow
though.
Gemini.
Yeah.
May 29th.
All day. All day.
Yeah.
Okay, Gemini's
I'm
in
a
the
June
house.
Gemini.
Yeah.
But
Let's
anyways.
get back to this. Let's get
Yeah,
back to the show, guys. All right, so we find out that Malik can't read, and Jason, I think, tried to do his best in his Jason way to bring the issue to light and say, hey, you need help. I brought you Hideko, the tutor, to the house. Probably wasn't the best
Mitsubishi.
move, but his heart was in the right place, I think, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Jason always does this. Every time his heart is in the right place, but he just has his foot in his mouth all the time. It's terrible.
Yes.
The thing is, he had great intentions with it, but he was so. Are you taking a selfie right now?
No,
or-
no.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like,
Taking a picture of my security guards.
Gotta make sure they're intact.
Yeah.
But no, it's funny because it seems like he has great intentions, but his delivery is so condescending.
Right.
And I think that's obviously what kind of took away from the fact he was actually doing a good deed.
Right.
And then obviously for the person that's receiving that, you don't want to feel as if someone's talking down on you, belittling you, or things of that sort. So I think that's why Malik was very, defensive about
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
Yeah, and I guess it goes to show that how Kelly and Jason are a good team.
If you
because
roll your eyes about them, Megan.
Kelly and Jason are such a good team because Kelly knew exactly what the problem was. She's like, okay, my husband clearly does not have the best way to express his stuff. So she goes and she kind of clears it up, and she really relates with Malik because she says of her background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Growing up in the trailer park and all that stuff. I'm glad that she came over and she cleared it up. I think it was necessary.
Definitely necessary. I thought the way she went about it, though, was like kind of her helping Jason at the same time, because she kept saying like, oh, I used my looks, I worked on me, and I worked out all the time. I'm like, is she hinting that he needs to get right on the field? I don't know. Like, I just got a little bit of that in there too.
Right.
So.
Well, it's funny, drawing the parallelism between that, because obviously if you're a great athlete, like we talked about, you'll pass by on your athletic skill. But also on the flip side, if you're a great looking woman, and how many times have we seen it? Gorgeous girls that just continuously,
Can't read.
can't read, and just reap hard. Kardashians. But,
that was ugly.
That was
petty.
Hey,
that was
you know
real
what?
petty, Kevin.
You know what?
You would never advance in this city because you said that line.
Am I blacklisted?
You are, yeah.
Well, good thing I can read and do have some gifts. Maybe that will fulfill me through.
you.
But at any rate, I was just saying that we've all seen that before as well. So I thought it was interesting for Kelly to bring her perspective, because it is pretty similar to Malik's in that sense.
Definitely.
Right. And so let us know what you guys think. Make sure you go to podcast1.com. That's a survey. It's 3 minutes. It's really easy. Let us know what you think about this recap show, and if you have any pointers for us, because we really do want to get better, and we love you guys, and we thank you for supporting us. And don't forget to subscribe just below. Click the subscribe button so you can see all of AfterBuzz TV's amazing shows, and also go to SoundCloud and iTunes. We're on everything.
Yes.
You can subscribe there as well. Kevin, tell us about ABC's Dance Battle. I'm so excited.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited you asked me, because I freaking love this show. Now we all love dancing, right? Dre, you love dancing. I'm sure you love turning up in the room, right?
I've been known to
Megan
to cut
dances
a
in her
rug.
car while people cut her off. I've seen the Instagram.
Okay, in studio I'll dance.
We all dance. We all love dancing. Well, guys, if you love dancing as well in the privacy of your home, your car, what have you, I have the perfect thing for you. You can now apply to be on Dance Battle America. All right.
Hey.
Now, this is ABC's newest competition special, and it's from our very own boss and founder, Maria Menounos.
E-host.
E-host, yeah, and Julianne Hull from Dancing with the Stars. Huff, excuse me. That's what I thought. Julianne Huff from Dancing with the Stars, and it's an ABC special. It's called Dance Battle America. Now, a little bit of the history on this, in case you're wondering how it all came about. During the past few holiday seasons, Julianne and Maria would get together in their, holiday families
And battle it out.
Right.
So they would do all kinds of stuff. They did Beyonce, Single Ladies. They did like Nicki Minaj's Anaconda and Sam Smith or something. Actually, no, Sam Smith doesn't make dance music. But anyways, you guys get the picture.
Stay with me.
I'm waiting for this.
Thank you.
website. Where do I
Interpretive
go?
So anyways, yeah. So anyways.
All I need.
Yeah, you should apply.
Keep singing that while I say this, because it's a great background. So anyways, once the challenge took off, Kate Hudson, Amber Riley, and a whole bunch of other people joined in. Now, if you want to join in, this is what you have to do, and this is the most important part. You have to go to www.dancebattleamericacasting.com. I'll say that one more again. www.dancebattleamericacasting.com for more information on how you can submit your video. And remember, you don't have to be dancing like a pro, like Julianne. Just have fun with it. And that's why we do band.
For example,
Oh, yeah,
Kevin?
exactly.
Kevin?
Oh, we're going to.
Dum 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 dum.
pass it.
Now, see, good
Dance
Lord.
Battle America. Dance Battle America. Dance Battle America.
Make sure that you send in your video, whether you want to twerk, jerk, or do the berserk. Make sure you send. Actually, Megan will show you how to do the bankhead bounce. So, well,
Dum 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 dum. No,
all day.
Kentucky, but we have to learn how to do everything.
Submit your
Kentucky.
dance
Like a year
videos.
later.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways,
New
you guys got
dance.
the information.
Bankhead
Make
bounce.
sure you do. Yes,
That
Bankhead
was the
bounce your
longest.
way on over to Dance Battle America. Okay, so let's talk about Tasha after the funeral. She's with Blue and Chardonnay. They're being good friends and helping her out during her time of grief. She's telling both Blue and Chardonnay that they're not over their exes. I kind of thought they were. Do you think she was right?
I think she was absolutely right.
Well, let me ask you this, because is holding on to pictures of your ex, does that mean you're holding on to your ex because you have pictures of your
That's
ex?
a tricky one.
I wouldn't say that you're holding on to your ex, but you're holding on to a lot of memories. Like, I know one thing that she said in the episode was you're romanticizing the relationship. You don't have pictures of the bad times. So if you're looking through all these good, come
People
on.
should start doing that.
I'm just saying.
Having an argument.
Wait, hold on, wait.
But yeah, she was really, holding on to those type of memories, they make you think back, oh, this is why I love this person.
Right.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, I think that's like one way to get over someone.
Yeah, I think, and I'm not gonna lie, I've gone through that as well, hanging on to pictures of an ex with optimism that we would reconcile. But I think the problem is when you do that, you don't put closure to the relationship. And I think if you truly are trying to move on, you need that closure, which means you got to get rid of their pictures, get rid of anything any memorabilia from them, things that they bought you.
Yeah.
So ladies, if the man bought you a ring, a car, whatever it is, y'all got to get rid of that. If
Here's
you
my
truly want to get
question.
rid of the man.
Here's my question. Somebody just texted me the word petty. So, is it petty to delete all the go on Instagram and you delete all the pictures and Facebook when the relationship is over? Is that petty?
I mean, when I've seen that, I think it's funny. Petty. No, because that's too much. Like, that's a lot of history. You need to move forward.
Well, here's the flip side of that, because some people, it depends on what you use your social media for. Because I know for me, it's a chronicle of my life. So I want my children to look back and be like, wait, that was you in college? Like, you look like that? So I leave those pictures up there because it's a true representation of who I am, even the bad times.
Like, wait, this is gonna be my daddy?
But look, that's the thing. That's the thing. Do you want your kids to look back and be like, how many boyfriends do you
But I'm saying, but that's true. So to me, I leave those pictures up, and the reason why I think that I don't think it's a bad thing to leave those pictures there, because I feel like, look, this was a good part of my life. During that time when I had this picture, when I took this picture, this is what it meant to me. That was that 32 weeks ago, 55 weeks ago, 70. You know what I mean? Like, that was then.
I am completely with scrapbooking your memories, but
that's what I'm saying. So is it wrong to leave it in your phone?
No, I don't think you should be leaving it in your phone at all.
See, the problem with that. I'm sorry, finish.
Go ahead. No, I don't think you should leave it in your
phone.
phone. I completely agree with the social media thing. Like Facebook, those albums are priceless. You can never get those back unless you save it on a hard drive somewhere. So probably leaving it on there makes sense, but Instagram, come on now, just delete it. I don't think it's necessary.
See, that's the problem. That's the problem. I'm just gonna break it down.
What's the problem, Reverend?
The problem is, when you hang on to pictures and unwanted memories,
let them use you.
Of this significant other in your life. The problem is when you move on and God brings you your new queen or king that comes into your life and they see you holding on to these pictures. The problem with that is that's going to cause friction.
You gotta do the asthmatic. You got.
All right, I'm sounding like a preacher on crack.
You just had emphysema.
I know, right?
It's not even sound right. Okay.
Sound like Rick Ross preaching.
Right? He'd be out of breath though. But no, the problem is when you hang on to that stuff, and I've had this before with significant others, they'll look and they'll be like, why do you have all these pictures with your ex? And then they start to wonder.
Tell them all mind their business.
Yeah. Like, think, Megan, if you was in a relationship with a guy and he had all these pictures with his ex and they were cute pictures, oh, look at us at the beach or us.
Then I'd be like, okay, well then you can delete those. I mean,
now you want to delete those.
No, but I'm saying if there's a reason, to me it's like, oh, because you're not in my life anymore, I'll delete these pictures.
No, it's not a petty delete. It's literally a cleanse. Like, you gotta let go of that stuff.
Like when people are like, oh, I deleted their number. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in the deletion of numbers.
I have all numbers in my phone unless Apple just erases it.
The reason why it's good to delete a number, especially if it's an ex, is because when you delete the number, it's hard just to go and be like, oh, I'm thinking about it, let me text them or let me do this. You have everything. It's so accessible. So I understand.
It's not. You go back to the text. The texts are still there.
I'm confused.
Not a lie.
I'm confused about where you from, brother? The number. Where you from? Something came out.
The number.
Where you from?
Where you from?
Well, I moved out here from Atlanta, Georgia.
That's not no. I don't get that ain't right deal. That ain't right deal. That ain't from Atlanta, y'all. That ain't from Atlanta, y'all.
That was actually pretty good right there. I'm initially from Stockton, though. It's in Northern California, right by Sacramento.
Ah.
So anyway, why? Because of my dialect, or
you said the number.
Oh, number.
The number.
It's not a number. Yeah, I always say number. So me, kind of like Malik, I'm a little illiterate sometimes.
No, you're not.
No.
Say that.
Okay, can we talk about what other things they held on to though? The keychain.
Yes. So there's a keychain. There's a necklace. The what you call it? Dog tags.
And there's a last name. Can we talk about the last name?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ooh.
I think that's completely inappropriate. I mean, Chardonnay had the same, excuse a lot of people have. Oh, for business purposes.
She built a brand, and Chardonnay
I built my
picks.
brand on this, and this is my last name. I get it, but at the end of the day, what happens when you move on to your next person?
We don't know Kimora Lee.
Kimora Lee.
Yeah, we know Kimora Lee Simmons.
Yeah.
Simmons.
And she's been married twice after that and still kept Kimora Lee Simmons. Here's the thing: when you take a name, I don't know if you necessarily have to get rid of it because again, that was my name. You know me from this. This has now become my name. Regardless if I'm still married to this person or not, this is my name. So
What happens when you move
but as a
on?
man, I would not be feeling that. I'd be
But I'm
like,
saying- but
you
I'm saying
are
that
a
if
Fuller
you-
now. You are not.
if you
the
move
same.
on, you change your last name. I think that's how it's supposed to go.
I think for branding purposes, you don't change it. And it's whether it happens, if your name is already branded before your marriage, like for example, Eva Longoria before she got married, Kim Kardashian before she got married, Jada Pinkett before she got married, those names were already branded. Now they can hyphenate. Beyonce Knowles. She don't go by Beyonce Carter.
Yes, she does.
Well, she went
Knowles Carter. Knowles Carter.
Anyways.
Knowles.
No, she says, "Hey, Miss Carter." She reps.
Yeah.
it.
Well, but still, Beyonce Knowles is
Yeah.
So I'm saying, if you are branded by that name, whether pre-marriage or post, Whitney Houston, she didn't take on Brown. So I think when you or Mariah Carey, she didn't go Mariah Cannon. So I think when you
That's funny.
no, seriously, I think when your
We're
name
talking about each person
when your
as a
name
public figure.
when your name is already branded, you don't change it. However, like Kimora Lee, that was a good point. If your name becomes branded after your marriage or after you become, because basically she rose to fame because of, I mean I don't want to say that,
So then even with Chardonnay, you only knew her because she was married to Jason Pitts. So
Exactly.
she had the last name Pitts.
Exactly.
She rose to fame after
Exactly.
she got married.
So
So
it's-
should she have to change her last name?
Yes.
No, I say she keeps it because that's her brand.
No, I say we all are gonna know her by Pitts. Okay, but you go back to your last name and brand that. You still have time. She wasn't with Jason that long. I don't think people want to put the extra effort into doing that. They got to change all the stuff, but you're really holding on to something. You are literally holding on to his legacy. That's how I feel about it. But
I totally understand, because I look at myself, like Dre said, I look at myself as the guy. And if I'm marrying, like if a girl is remarrying and she's getting married to me, but she wants to keep her former husband's last name, I'm probably gonna have a problem with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you are now a Peters that you're married to me.
yeah.
No, and I feel that completely. I'm saying
Man, that's ironic that you use that name.
Well,
Here we go.
y'all know each other. Where y'all know each other
Dre
from?
go way back.
Nah. I'm
You
just.
guys have to
nah.
go.
But what I'm saying is no. But seriously, I get if a woman gets married, she already has a last name of her ex-husband. She gets married and she changes her last name. I completely agree with it, and I get it. But Chardonnay's not marrying anybody. She's single. So should she have to change her name right now?
As long as she's single, that's fine, because that's her brand.
But that's what I'm saying. But Tasha's point was, no, you need to change your name now.
But when Baby Roger come in the picture, Chardonnay.
See, yes, I knew it.
No,
Baby
no,
Roger and Chardonnay.
No.
Yes.
I
The preview showed us,
was
and
just
now
kidding,
you know,
right? I'm just
But
kidding,
you know
right?
what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Tasha's wrong, because she has some bad advice. She's talking about they need to get it on to catch some HPV. So maybe
Oh
we
my
don't need to
gosh.
take Tasha's
Lord.
advice.
Right. You should be out here catching HPV.
Oh, Lord.
No,
Oh, my.
not
Yeah.
that.
Which is HPV is the most common
Yes.
STD that is out there. Actually, 53% of all sexually active people have it.
Why do you know this?
These
Man,
stats.
look at stat
teach me.
boy.
You teaching?
I worked at Planned Parenthood for a couple of years.
Did
so-
you really?
Wow.
How long ago was that?
I was.
How long ago was that?
I'm joking.
Because it probably is
joking.
higher than
That's right,
53% now. It's
right.
not like.
My dad used to work for the Department of Health Services. So
Okay,
I see a lot
okay.
of that information.
Okay. Well, let's talk about what Blue was talking about, which he says he brings up a point, like he misses the parts about his relationship. Okay, so there's somebody who knows my rhythm, who knows like Dance Dance Revolution, who knows when to call me, who knows when not to call, who knows that I like C-SPAN.
That's being comfortable.
That's priceless.
Yeah.
A woman who knows when
Right.
to leave her man alone. That is.
Woo! Talk about
But
it.
you know
Lord,
that,
that's priceless.
Talk about it.
you guys. That comes.
That is real.
That's
comes with
priceless.
time. That's beautiful, but that also
Yeah,
comes with
but
time.
it's a lot of people you can spend an elaborate amount of time and they just
They don't
still
get it.
don't get
Well,
it.
you
They
know
don't
what?
get-
That's not fiance marriage material. So
Woo,
until
say
then,
that.
I'm just saying,
Hallelujah.
until you find the one that is able to do that.
But that's what Blue felt like he found. So if he felt like he found that, should he fight to get Kira back, or should he just let her go?
I think they never had true closure. I've talked about that in a couple episodes. They need to sit down and truly talk in front of us.
Forget that.
What do you think, Kevin? Do you think that he should fight for Kira, or do you think he should just wrap that thing up?
Well, the problem right now is he's in a state of comfortability with this girl. You know, the glove fit him perfectly. Her glove fit him perfectly. I'm just using an analogy in case you're wondering. So the thing is, when the glove fits you so perfectly, it's hard to take it off because it's a perfect match that knows every crevice, crack of your hand, and it's really difficult for him to move on.
Right.
Well, here's
And-
my question after you finish.
Go ahead.
Never mind. I'm sorry.
Here's my question. I'm going to interrupt you right now, but I'm going to say it after you finish.
After you finish, I'm like, all right.
I'm not gonna let that man
I
finish.
realized I did it out. Okay, but I'm sorry.
I cut you off earlier.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No. So since he's so comfortable, since the glove fits so well, then can we go ahead and forgive the fact that she almost cheated?
Well, see, the thing is, when
do we cross that? When does that line?
That's
She did cheat.
well,
she ain't almost cheat.
I was about to say,
Now what
kiss
I mean,
somebody.
I was trying to put some air quotes, y'all.
She cheated.
That's
yes.
cheating.
Okay.
So what happened in that case? The glove got a little loose. You know, it wasn't as skin tight as it was. So the glove loosened up a little bit for him to take his hand out. So right now he's at a point where he's kind of, where he's obviously in a little bit of, I would say, denial, but
He's
also
kind of limbo
perplexity.
in the thing. He has to make a decision. Either yes, I'm gonna go fight for her and make this work, forgive her, or I gotta go.
But see, the thing is, you can't go back to somebody so quickly and prematurely, especially when there's cheating. Cheating is the worst thing that can happen because it basically violates trust. It violates
I
loyalty.
completely agree.
All of that stuff. So I think that they can work it out, but it's gonna be something that takes time because if you just try to say, all right, forget it, it's gonna come back out.
But do we want them to work it out? Because they fooled us this episode and had the hashtag Kira Malik date. I was waiting for a date the whole episode. And
I didn't understand what that hashtag was about.
Yeah, neither
Is
did
this
I.
like a teaser?
Producers.
But you will.
Oh, are you serious?
Teaser.
What happens?
I'll just get that little teaser.
I mean, I think they already gave us a teaser with the hashtag.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna be on a date, and then you and Sade gonna be on a date at the same time.
Yep. Y'all gonna be at the bar?
Eyewitnessing.
Well, Roger Jr. comes from money, so he does sip Chardonnay.
No.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. Yes, but I'm saying, so I think it is, so we see that there's a notion of cleansing is healthy by getting rid of all of the old stuff, and we also see that Tasha decides to do the same and pours her dad's ashes out over the balcony. Which, by the way, I shouldn't have. That was like a really serious moment, but I was cracking up when she was pouring ashes out. Let me tell you why. Because in my own personal, I have an experience with that. I did that with my grandma's ashes. And I was having a sentimental, I had a real sentimental moment. I was like, I was in the ocean, and I was like, here, Granny.
Be free.
And I put the ashes out, and it came back in my face, in my mouth.
Yes.
And so when I saw that, I was cracking up because I was like, oh, this happened to me before. Man. I just know this ashes gonna go back in her mouth.
And that's what I told Kevin. I was like, please don't let her daddy's ashes hit her.
I told Megan the same thing. I said it would flew back in.
Like, but that was nice how they ended it on that note.
Definitely.
So cool. Okay, so let's talk about some predictions.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV prediction.
All right, so Andre, what happens?
Yeah, let's just get right to it.
Two microphones. What happens?
Is this thing on? Practice? We talking about practice. I always wanted to do that. Shout out to Allen Iverson.
Playoffs?
Okay, so give us we don't want to get you in trouble with your show and get you contractually kicked out or whatever.
Right. Sued. I'll be sued.
Yes, we don't want you to get sued. So give us a prediction, one that could be true or not true, whatever. Give us a prediction.
Okay. I'll give the predictions and you guys tell me what you think, true or false.
Okay.
Roger Jr. will be back on next episode.
True.
True.
Roger Jr. and Tasha Mack will have a love affair.
False.
True.
True.
Really? Y'all think it's true? No.
Didn't I say my prediction before that she was going to get with a younger man?
Yeah.
She's already done that.
We know
with
Tasha Mack
Dante.
like them
I
young
said that was my
boys.
prediction for this season. It's going to happen.
I don't like that.
I mean, our fans thought the same thing, and he has
Yeah.
the pics. She liked the pics.
Boo.
Just saying.
Roger Jr. and Jason Pitts will have more conflict.
Yeah.
True.
The conflict will be because of Chardonnay.
True.
Ooh.
True. I'm telling you, I saw it on BET.com. They're having a date at the. Why else would you be talking to Chardonnay at the bar? Girl, you just go on and shout out to all the
got
people.
deep over there.
I did. You just go on there. Shout out to @HamptonBlue who be sending all the little clips to me. Shout out
love
to you.
you.
Thank
We
you.
absolutely love you.
Thank you guys.
Captain Blue and the other guy that always tags us in Instagram and stuff like that. What's that guy's? The Gift, the movie, or something?
GF the movie. Girlfriends the movie. Hey, shout out to Girlfriends the
Shout out to
movie.
Oh, yeah, he be
Get
tagging me
Girlfriends-
too.
Yes, Girlfriends the movie. We got to get that on TV or the big screen. Okay, some predictions from each of you. Just one prediction.
Go first, Kevin.
Actually, it's funny that Dre said that because that was my exact prediction, was that him and Jason were going to have a conflict over Chardonnay coming to him and dating him. So he actually took the words right out of my mouth.
Allegedly.
So no, I have been saying that for like 3 episodes now that Chardonnay and Baby Roger are going to get it in.
Do y'all think that'd be a good couple though?
I do.
Chardonnay and Baby Roger?
I do.
That'd be
I
interesting.
have to see it.
That'd be, yeah.
You better not break her heart though.
Chardonnay don't play.
Baby Roger ain't a heartbreaker. Come on.
Yeah, she has a wall up anyway.
Chardonnay is wounded.
Very. And I was also going to say, I also predict that Blue and Kira are going to reconcile.
Okay.
I'm ready.
great
Yeah, that
prediction.
was definitely my prediction. But okay, so Blue and Kira reconcile.
So Blue and Kira reconcile. What happens to Malik? Is he just the odd man out?
No, this
What
is-
happens
this
with-
is-
what happens
this
with
is-
Malik?
this is
Continues
the
being the
second-
bachelor playboy that he is, and he learns to
No,
read.
this is
Malik
my
goes to
second part.
Chardonnay.
No, this is my second part of the prediction.
Chardonnay's going to Baby.
Y'all still trying to make Chardonnay a hoe. Everybody keep trying to pass Chardonnay around like she just a pass the ball.
Listen,
It's ironic
the
you said
homies.
that. It's ironic you said that.
Oh no, she really got that.
No.
Oh, okay.
Brandy brought that up to Kenny, and she got on his ass. She's like, "Look,
You know,
don't have Chardonnay out there like."
just whoring around. Y'all better not do that to my girl.
She's vulnerable right now, okay?
What happens to Malik?
Okay, so
What's your prediction?
I think that Kira and Malik are obviously going to have a date, realize that they really aren't for each other because Kira's going to go ahead and say, look, I kind of want to go work things out with Blue, and then Blue and Kira are going to reconcile. That's what I
It's a
think.
great prediction.
Okay. Well, my prediction is that Jason and Kelly are going to hit a speed bump. It's going to be quite large, and it's going to mess up their marriage for a little bit. But
hating on Jason?
wait, can I finish?
Turn
Can
your
I
mic
finish
off.
though?
Turn
But
her
can I
mic.
finish? Can I finish? They're going to hit this huge speed bump, and then they're going to get back together, and everything's going to be fine. Are you happy now?
Just had to put a little bit of salt in
Are
there.
you happy now?
That's too easy for everything to be fine. Is
No, that's gonna be
everything
the
always?
very-
Is everything
the very last episode.
ever fine with Kelly and Jason?
But it's gonna be conflict until the last episode, and then everything's gonna be fine for them. It has to be.
Oh, it has to be. Megan says it has to be.
See, it has to be.
Well, I can-
Right,
I
end
can-
the series like that.
I can say that today's episode was rather mild. It's pretty tame.
Ooh, about to turn up.
It's about to hit the fan.
Ooh,
Excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
ooh. Okay, well,
I'm ready for the turn up.
all right. Before we get out of here, Andre, thank you so much for stopping in and sharing your 2 cents. What
you
kind
for
of
having me.
projects do you have coming up?
I am currently shooting season 2 of Black Jesus.
Yay.
Okay.
I am working with David E. Talbert on his play Another Man Will. We'll be filming that for BET, so you'll see that as well. And I just wrapped the movie with Lorenz Tate, Megan Good, and Lance Gross, which will be out in theaters sometime really
What's the
soon.
name of it?
It's called Deuces.
Deuces.
Hey, you stay
Yeah.
working.
Yeah.
Stay
Trying to
working.
get this work.
I'm mad.
All right, where can we find you as well?
You can find me at my address. But you guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Periscope at Mr. Dre Fuller. Mr. Dre Fuller.
Awesome.
All right.
And you guys can keep in touch at Teznos on Twitter and Instagram, and now Snapchat. Woo!
Woo! You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Hey Kevin John.
And you can find me, Megan Thomas, on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Meg Scoop, like scoop of ice cream. Don't forget to continue to post all your comments with the hashtag ABTVTheGame, because we love your comments and we love that you guys watch. Make sure you continue to comment on YouTube, on SoundCloud, on iTunes, everywhere. And don't forget to subscribe because we love you. Until next week, y'all. Deuces. Bye.
Deuces.
Say bye-bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.